YouTube and Facebook. I'm holding myself to this hour, so we're looking at UK time about 12:33 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm going to stick with it to 1:33 roughly. So guys, today I wanted to talk about on the BFP live hour, Blogging Paradise live hour. I don't know if this will be a regular thing, but it's happening today, so whatever is what it is. I want to give you guys my extended thoughts for your consumption on perhaps the fastest way to drive indirect blog traffic. So that's indirect. Let's shut this sucker down. Make sure to keep the battery here. Voila. Now, guys, I rarely use the term fast or quickest, but I did for the title for this live broadcast for the hour. And before we dive in, you can stop by bloggingfromparadise.com, which is my blog for smart blogging tips. So, the quickest way or a way to get indirect traffic fast to your blog, and I know a lot of bloggers struggle to drive traffic, so this is a bit of a cheat code. It is, genuinely, because it doesn't take a ton of effort to indirectly attract or draw people to your blog pretty quickly with this method, but you got to commit to it. Like anything, you got to commit to it. It is this: talk to human beings. Drop comments that are genuine, helpful, meaningful, authentic on Facebook, on Twitter, X, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Threads, on Blue Sky, wherever. But, and this is indirect traffic prerequisite. Before you comment anywhere, before you talk to humans anywhere, spot a common interest so that you have a pretty good or a great or a clear idea that they are interested in your blogging niche. So it's not randomly dropping a gazillion spam comments on user profiles where you have no idea if the person's interested. That's what's important. There has to be something that tells you about that human being that you're talking to, that they have some interest in your blogging niche. That's the key point, because that's how you know that it's a potentially, right, quality engagement to where these folks are interested in visiting your blog. You have a good idea. So when I mentioned talking to people, not random strangers on the street, as a quick indirect hack, not volume spamming 1,000 blogs a day from all different types of niches. Talk to interested people. Talk to people with an interest in your blogging niche. There's something about their profile which demonstrates that, which suggests it. One of the really quickest ways to drive indirect traffic is to talk to human beings who express an interest in your content. Maybe they retweeted it or reshared it on Twitter/X. Maybe they shared it on Facebook. Maybe they dropped a genuine comment in response to a live video on YouTube, on Facebook. Maybe they sent you a genuine message. And now again, genuine. I'm not talking about engaging spammers, people that are pushing their business. No, don't talk to them. They just want you. They just want your business, so ignore them. Talk to people. Talk to people who seem to be interested in your niche, where you take the first step. Good to see you, Keza. Is today Father's Day? I think so. Happy Father's Day. Or express a genuine interest in human beings who've dropped a comment on your blog, a genuine comment. We're talking authentic, real comment. who start a real discussion with you on Facebook, Twitter, X, always call it Twitter, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, Threads, doesn't matter where. They've already proven that they're interested because they've started a chat with you. So sometimes when I check my Twitter, or pretty much every day, I usually don't check Twitter now every 2 to 3 days, but I'll see a number of tweeters, a number of X users drop comments in response to my content. So I'll make a point about blogging. I'll share a blogging tip and they'll say, hey, Ryan, there's a really good point. Listening to your readers is a great idea for generating a steady stream of blog post ideas, which then makes you prolific. So they'll drop that comment in response to one of my Twitter updates. One of the easiest ways to get indirect blog traffic is to reply to those people and say, hey, true. I'm always listening to my readers to create a conveyor belt of blog post ideas, which flow to me consistently. That helps me to be prolific. So I would type those words. So when two people with a mutual interest are going back and forth with a helpful, genuine, meaningful conversation, they're expounding on it, the people you're chatting with, and this is indirectly now, indirectly because it's based on the conversation and them trusting your social media content, click through to your blog to visit because they say, hey, I really like this guy's content. I really like this gal's content. They're starting a nice little chat with me. Organically, we express a deeper interest in these human beings, right? We all do. We say, I'm going to check their blog out and see what it's about. Bingo, indirect blog traffic. It happens fast, guys, when you're really social. So you're talking genuinely to a number of people who are either highly interested in your content, they've engaged it, they've shared it, they've liked it, or maybe you're approaching them. You're the first one to talk or chat, to leave the comment, but you've seen by checking their profile on Facebook that they're a blogger, that they're shared blogging related content. So for someone like me, guys, I'm only going to talk to folks really across the board, blogging wise, business wise, and some purposes of this live broadcast, only talk to individuals who express a deep interest in blogging tips, because bloggingfromparadise.com is a blogging tips blog. So I may go out there and drop a comment in my stream if I see a blogger's talking about blogging. Then that blogger will see my comment and say, and this is talking to people, oh, what a cool bloggingparadise.com, cool name. Oh, I like his insight. Oh, he seems like he knows what he's talking about. That's some keen blogging advice he shared through his comment. Let me click his profile on Facebook, whether it's my page or my profile or any of my groups. But we'll just say my page right here, broadcasting live on Facebook too, YouTube crowd. And they click through to my profile, my Blogging from Paradise page link, and then they see bloggingfromparadise.com and they click it. That's indirect blog traffic. Indirectly, after reading my genuine comment, we express a mutual interest in blogging. They click through to my page on Facebook, and then they see bloggingfromparadise.com. They're interested in blogging, interested in my blogging tips. They trust it. They like it. I got to learn more. Boom, that's blog traffic. And it's highly qualified. We're talking organic traffic because they already trust you. They show up warm. There's some level of trust or credibility. These are the types of folks who gradually, slowly but surely, some of them, an increasing number as you keep sticking to this simple process, become loyal community members. Some of them become customers. Some of them become clients. Some of them become repeat customers. Some of them become repeat clients. And a number of these folks increase your referral traffic and your referral business by telling their like-minded tribes, their like-minded friends, their like-minded networks, hey, this guy knows a lot about blogging. And then you're driving more indirect referral traffic and income. It's beautiful how well it works. You got to commit to it. It's not talking to one person, and it's not saying, hey, thanks. You could do that sometimes. You could talk to people and say, thank you. Do that some of the time, but the strategy yields quick results when, for a number of days, then weeks, you talk to interested people by giving them a few minutes, a few moments of your time, 2 or 3 sentences, maybe 5 sentences. And then you talk to another person, then you talk to another person, then you keep going back and forth. It's a cheat code because indirectly, a fair number of people will take an interest in your blog and they'll click on it, a fair number of these folks, then you'll generate your indirect traffic. It's a beautiful system. You just have to talk to a lot of interested people genuinely. Have a conversation. Thank people. But one of the key points to hold in your mind to develop the skill, and for most of us, it takes a little bit. Can I like that comment? I'm not going to ban you. Can I reply with a heart? I don't know. I'm just having fun with this in live in real time. All right. And the ghost one I think was funny too. So basically, in real time, I'm talking to my cousin Tom here. I may have bounced out. That's fine. So when you talk to people, before you talk to people, here's a point I was going to make. Make sure that they express a genuine interest. They seem to have a genuine interest based on what you're reading from, seeing on their profile, the content that they publish in your blogging niche, or they have already reached out to you, first point of contact, with a genuine comment, a genuine question. Do not use this strategy with people who pitch you their business, who try to get you to hire them because they have no interest in visiting your blog. As a genuine visitor who will build your organic traffic, referral income, loyal community member, brand advocate, they have no interest in that. They just want you to give them money. And that's okay because it's part of gaining a lot of exposure. So ignore these individuals, look past them immediately, let them spam. This is a skill to develop because most of us need to peacefully look past people who just want to use us for money, show no interest in them, because you won't get quick traffic if you spend your whole day trying to talk to spammers, getting fooled by spammers, trying to convince spammers to visit your blog. It makes no sense. They're not arriving organically to visit your blog to support your business. They want your money. So develop the skill, sniff them out right away when you sense, okay, this is somebody who's not expressing a genuine interest in me. Your intuition will tell you. They just want me to hire them, so I'll look past them immediately. And if they follow up 2 or 3 or 4 times, and few do, but if somebody just really screams for your attention and energy, just click the block button, only to cease communication. So it's like, no more access, peacefully. So you got to learn how to look past these individuals, guys, because if you spend hours a day engaging spammers consistently and they're just pushing their business on you, nobody's going to visit your blog. So you're not going to get indirect traffic quickly. Now, why is it indirect? Well, it's not you publishing a blog post link, sharing a blog post link, which then results in a click and an insta visit. So direct traffic is, I sent out my recent blog post to my email list, to X-Twitter, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to Threads. People on those networks, followers or individuals who aren't following you, clicked on that link and visited my blog. So that's direct traffic. Somebody link, they click direct traffic is any other method outside of, excluding sharing your blog post link and somebody clicking on it. So there has to be some other moment where the person feels that sense of interest and they say, I like their text updates. I like their videos. I like their live broadcasts. I like. Let me indirectly now visit their blog, click through to their profile, click on the blog post name, Wemo. So that's why this is indirect. So a lot of us have to wean ourselves off of the obsession with driving only direct traffic. So there's a voice in your mind that comes very much from fear and scarcity, maybe a little bit of laziness, but usually it's just tunnel vision. And that voice in your mind says, let me share my latest blog post link or my latest 10 posts a bunch of times across social media, across X, across Facebook, then across Threads. Maybe I'll jump over to that professional network, LinkedIn, and I'll just get a bunch of people to click those links. A bunch of people will if I share it enough. I'll drive direct traffic, super efficient, super straightforward, kind of easy, and I'll be set. No, it does not work that way all day long because all of these sites have set up their algorithms because they want you to stay on their site and they want some level of engagement on their site. That's how they get really rich. So they set up their algorithms almost across the board, not to be blind to links, but to not favor accounts that only post links all day long. That's why now I share old blog posts a lot. I do, and current blog posts for direct traffic. You'll drive it, but indirect methods need to be factored into your strategy because, like it or not, if you just share blog post links all day long, users tend to become blind to the links. If you're just sharing that and the algorithms for these networks just peg you as someone who's trying to get exclusively all day long users from these networks to visit your site and not to stay on their site. So the algorithms are really good. And this is X, this is Facebook, this is LinkedIn, Threads, Blue Sky. I mean, Blue Sky's not as developed. Not have been around the block for quite as long. But these algorithms, they're just developed that way where they say, nope, don't give those links. If he's posting links all day long, or she is, don't give those links any exposure. Absolutely not. Blacklist, whatever, shadow ban. I don't know. Long and the short of it. So not all day long, but share them liberally for direct traffic. You'll drive increasing direct traffic, these strategies, but then also share content to stimulate, to facilitate indirect blog traffic, to facilitate the conversations that I'm talking about for this cheat code. And it could be as simple when you become really prolific, when you're publishing helpful, practical, text-based content, videos, live broadcasts on a consistent basis. That content generates highly targeted engagement from people deeply interested in your niche. They'll drop genuine comments in response to these updates. Then if cheat code every day, every couple days, you talk to people who comment favorably in response to your updates. Bingo. When you talk, when you chat, when you form bonds and there's a mutual interest, these are the types of users on these sites who click through to your profile, click your blog, and become indirect traffic, quote unquote. It's such a simple way, and it happens pretty quickly when you talk to people genuinely who are genuinely interested, and when you keep talking to more people, different people, and you take a genuine interest in them. And when I use the word genuine and authentic, it's not using people to try to get them to visit your blog. It doesn't work. They sense it. Talk to people, care about them, appreciate people who respond to your updates. So when I go through X and I talk to 5 or 10 or 15 people who've commented in response to my recent updates. I care. I love them. I appreciate them. They took an interest in my content. It feels fun. I'm there to help them. I'm there to chat. These are the type of folks who morph, if you will, who drive indirect traffic. And then another cool aspect of talking to people who are interested in your content, and this emerges when you really stick with it and build your authority, they will drive greater indirect traffic through referral marketing. You build friendships with them. These relationships solidify, and someone on X will mention me to their 30,000 followers, some of whom are interested in blogging. And this is based on me talking to them, sharing the helpful content, and then talking and building relationships. And they'll tweet out to their, say, 20,000 followers, some of it off. So when that comes out from a respected blogger, they tweet that, they publish that to 20,000 followers, a handful of which are interested in blogging. That handful of bloggers migrates from that user's profile to @RyanBidoff on Twitter, and then some of them click bloggingfromparadise.com. More indirect traffic. This just happens to come through a referral. What opened the door? Well, publishing helpful content, but acting on the fastest way to drive indirect blog traffic. You got to stick with it, guys. It's like anything. It's like doing these live broadcasts from time to time and short form videos and talking to people. It doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't happen that way. There's absolutely no blogger who's figured out how to get any of these strategies, even though it's fast. Maybe it could be minutes, maybe it could be hours, consistently driving an increasing volume of indirect traffic demands that you talk to a lot of highly interested, genuine people. So you have to keep reaching out. You have to keep talking to people, chatting. And when I say have to, it never wants to come, you never want it to come from a place of resistance or force or fear. Sometimes it'll be a little uncomfortable, but overall, you do want to adopt a long haul approach because you'll get fast indirect traffic, yet you also gain the experience that to experience lasting blogging success, you need to keep talking to people, engage for a while. So it's still a marathon, not a sprint. The cool part is you'll drive indirect traffic fast when you talk to people who are interested. They're interested, talk to them, chat with them, drop a genuine comment in response to their latest update. Drop 2 genuine comments in response to their latest Facebook updates or X updates. Come across a live video, a live broadcast, I should say. The individual covers content related to your blogging niche. Drop a couple sentences, publish an authentic comment. Do this consistently. Talk to people. I like to stress that comments are content. And by that, I mean every comment published anywhere, to Facebook, to YouTube, to X, to LinkedIn, to Blue Sky, to Threads. Every single comment is a piece of content which fuels each one of these sites. It's the engagement that fuels billion-dollar empires worth hundreds of millions, tens of millions of dollars. Every comment that you leave anywhere, which is the essence of this live broadcast, talking to people. See, I'm talking to you now through this live broadcast as an apparent mute, online world, talking to people, and you can through video as well, but for all intents and purposes, this broadcast, you're typing words, you're typing comments, which serve as content. Comments are content. Comments are content. So I came across a great comment the other day on my X profile. An individual, highly skilled, highly experienced blogger, mentioned how comments are content. Publishing thorough comments beefs up the content. A 2 to 3 paragraph thoughtful comment can generate just as much traffic, targeted traffic at that, than a tweet of the same length. If you're replying to a blogger highly interested in your niche or a potential reader with a decent sized following, targeted in nature. So comments are content. That's a point that you want to drill into your mind. Most bloggers have really strong mental block, and I've gone through this at various times of my online career, thinking, well, I left a comment and nobody looked at it. Nobody replied. I wasted my time. I lost time. Big mistake, guys, because comments are content fueling these sites. Now, everything begins with typically a bit more thorough content to stimulate the comments. Content tends to be the fuel. Why your blog or the long haul and your marketing channels, social media, LinkedIn, create a lot of content that's practical, truly helpful, targeted, always for your reader. But that stimulates the comments that keep things going, the all important, the critical engagement. When you become the engaging factor, meaning you talk to people, meaning you drop comments, maybe a sentence, maybe 3 sentences, maybe 5 sentences, targeted, take a real interest in that person. An increasing number of human beings, from the user, I'll say the user, but the person whose update you're replying to their followers. Ding, 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 ding. To their followers who read these comments. From that person you're replying to their followers, that pool of human beings can be indirect blog traffic, can stimulate your indirect blog traffic. Because let's say I come across someone on Facebook, a successful blogger, they publish a helpful update, I share 2 or 3 sentences. I'm going to stick to the blogging tips niche for me because bloggingparadise.com is a blogging tips blog. So they may like the comment, say, hey, Ryan, thanks so much, and visit my blog. But if they have 150,000 fans on Facebook, then 20 or 30 likely of those fans click through to Blogging from Paradise, the Facebook page, and then 5 or 10 of those Facebook folks find Blogging from Paradise.com bio on my Facebook page and click on it, and that's 5 or 10 indirect visits from these people. So don't forget the followers. It doesn't have to be a huge group. They could have, say, 1,000 friends, a decent percentage of whom are highly interested in your blogging niche. So if they have 1,000 friends, 350 are diehard bloggers, that's a targeted following. Out of those folks, say 30 read my comment and say, wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about. Click through to bloggingfromparadise.com or click through to my profile. Then 5 or 10 click my blog link. Again, that's indirect blog traffic. But you have to be consistent with the strategy and see the sneeze that comes up. Sorry, guys. and see the potential in it. So I'm sharing all these different ways. It's not just indirect traffic reaching out mindlessly to a bunch of strangers. Talk to everybody. No, no, no. I've given you strategic steps and tips, but different ways. You could talk to people. And again, I'll just say me. This will give you a practical example. My case, I'll only talk to people who are bloggers, who are highly interested in blogging, if I reach out to them and I drop the first comment. So I'm on a Facebook group. A blogger drops a genuine update that I value to be truly helpful and practical. I'll publish 2 or 3 comments. I'll talk to them. 2 or 3 sentence, maybe 5 sentence comment, chatting with them, adding value. That's what it comes down to. Add value, share value, make it meaningful. So in more cases than not, they will. That's indirect traffic. But then all the other members in these blogging tips theme groups, wow, 10,000 members. 50 say, whoa, that's a really good comment. Very insightful. Let me click through to his user profile on this network, and then I'm going to click through to his blog. 10 more visitors, all indirect traffic. So that's Facebook groups. Then you have Twitter communities. Then you have LinkedIn communities. Then you have your profile. These are all ways through which indirect traffic finds your blog. 105. Let's do it. We're powering through. However, the traffic can come quite fast, but you want to stick to this process consistently for days and weeks and months to drive significant indirect traffic. You will learn very quickly, if you haven't already, that getting 1 or 2 or 5 people to visit your blog, you do it one person at a time. So that is important, to be appreciative, to be grateful, for sure. But you'll learn that if 3 people visit your blog, you're not going to generate a full-time income and build a huge loyal tribe based on 3 human beings visiting your blog. Now, it has to start there, and organic traffic matters most. So yes, these are the type of folks you want to visit. But then the next step is to be consistent. So then 5 organic people visit your blog. And then as you stick to this strategy, you'll get 30 indirect visitors from this method on a daily basis for a couple days. They drop because 5 days later, after 2 days of not getting any indirect traffic, and you're thinking, okay, is what it is. And this is why you don't want to focus on day to day. 3 days later, then 75 indirect visitors show up. And then you'll say, oh, I see what Ryan meant. The traffic came in quickly and it was indirect and it was awesome. It was a cheat code. But the cumulative effect over days, weeks, and months of sticking to this strategy ultimately matters. Sticking with this strategy for a long time drives organic indirect traffic. I say organic, but indirect traffic consistently. As that tribe of indirect visitors expands, the potential for a loyal, large community and blogging income expands. It's never a numbers game, but it's still a little bit of a numbers game. It's always mindset, but you have to stick at this consistently to achieve an appreciable level of scale. So just because you get quick, fast indirect traffic, which is great, doesn't mean that you abandon the strategy after a day or two, because after doing this for a day, you're not going to get 30,000 indirect visitors a day. That's not the goal, but you know what I mean. It's just going to be a trickle, and it might be a trickle for a while, but everything adds up. So you do want to think in terms of adopting a long haul, long-term strategy, because if you don't, guys, there's something very sneaky about this blogging world, and I had to learn the lesson the hard way. If you do things for a day or for a week because it came kind of quickly and easily in the beginning, but then the numbers don't explode, and the main driver is, oh, let me just get this fast traffic or this fast income, You'll quit the strategy after a month, and you cut the legs off from long-term exponential organic growth. You got to stick with these strategies, especially the ones that are really you're resonant with, that make sense, that you're bringing value to the table. But you got to stick to these strategies for days. Then you got to stick to them for weeks. From a relaxed, confident, consistent mindset, a trusting mindset. Then you got to stick with them for months. Then you stick with them for years on a daily basis, or maybe 5 days a week. I'm not talking about publishing posts every day. I'm talking about this specific strategy, because it's that year over year, 5 days a week, 7 days over week growth that builds into something cumulative, which generates heavy targeted traffic and eventually a full-time blogging income. Or if you don't have any professional aspirations, which eventually, I'll say recruits, but which eventually grows a loyal blogging tribe. So just because I said fast, which is good, you have to keep the success momentum going. You have to keep talking to people. You have to keep talking to people. You have to keep talking to people. Now let's move on to this last stage. We're about 110. Still got about 25 minutes. We're going the distance. I don't care. And I'm going to turn this into a blog post as well, of course. Devote an hour to it. Better put it on my blog. Probably go with the YouTube video, of course. I shouldn't say of course. I can go with either, but this last 25 minutes, give or take a few, I want to talk about the biggest. Take advantage of this cheat code. Talking to people, talk to people, talk to people. It's a fast way to drive indirect traffic. Have to be interested in your niche. Someone like me, they're a blogger, they're posting blogging tips related content. So there's that. Or really the quickest, I would say most organic way, fast indirect traffic, is to chat with people who chat with you, who express a genuine interest in your content and your products and your services, ebooks, courses like I sell. So that's it. But the biggest mental block to this cheat code fast traffic is a fear that most of us inherently harbor, especially unconsciously, robotically, in our unawareness. A fear of people, afraid of people. There is the fear of wasting time. Well, I talk to this person, they were interested. I talk to this person. But that's usually unconsciously, in a very sneaky way, circuitively, it comes around to being afraid. So most human beings, you included, are afraid of people who disagree with you. You're afraid of people who mock you. You're afraid of people who make fun of you. You're afraid of people who reject you, afraid of people who don't listen to you, afraid of people who criticize you, afraid of people who challenge you. This is a really sneaky one, guys. You're afraid of people who show you love unconsciously because you're afraid to disappoint them. You're afraid of people who support you, who believe in you because you don't believe in yourself and you don't support yourself. Really, when you get into it. So these fears in your mind, that's why I want to give some time to this. You have to honestly explore them by spending some time in quiet. Perhaps you lock yourself into a room or just close the door. Turn your phone off, leave it outside of the room, go off the clock, or if you could discipline yourself, set the timer on your phone. But it's probably best if the phone's not around. Leave the laptop out of the room and start searching your mind. Now, I've had to do it. I wouldn't be where I am unless I did. Because I wouldn't be talking to people, and then everything would have propagated different struggles, and it makes no sense. None of these fears make sense, which is exactly why they're unconscious, and most bloggers don't talk to people. They're so afraid. They're so afraid somebody's going to support them and love them and care for them Then they think, oh, the pressure's on now. What if I disappoint them? What if they criticize me? So unconsciously, most bloggers will skip this strategy because they're so afraid of talking to people. They're so afraid of expressing a genuine interest in other human beings. Then consciously, a lot of bloggers, if they're being honest, they could own the fact that they're really afraid of people ignoring them, people not listening to them, people criticizing them. So rather than ease into these fears, embrace the discomfort and get the fast traffic and build the exponential traffic indirectly over the long haul. Where all these people talking, developing that skill instead of feeling enraged or just, so you got to gain the experience. But most would say, no, I don't want to do that at all. I don't want to talk to people. Screw them. This network sucks. Nobody listens anyway. Nobody replies. Nobody responds. So screw them. And then they turn their back on talking to people and driving indirect traffic quickly. You have to explore those fears, guys, because if you don't look at yourself, yeah, I really am afraid of being rejected, being criticized, then you're never going to talk to people, never drive traffic. Those who do talk to people usually experience that the idea of criticism or rejection or nasty folks popping up out of the woodwork, they're outliers largely, by and large. Like most people will be kind, helpful, genuine, nice, and then a fraction of the blog indirectly. And you'll have your fast traffic as long as you keep talking to people. And it will build over the long haul as long as you keep talking to people. So you have to be with those fears, guys. And I had to say, man, I was afraid of wasting my time, AKA being ignored by people. So I was afraid people were going to ignore me. I talked to a lot of people. They wouldn't reply. They wouldn't respond. They would criticize me, say nasty things about me or nasty things about blogging. My resistance to talking to people and driving this seamless cheat code indirect traffic scared me into not talking to people and not getting the indirect traffic and not giving bloggingfromparadise.com the attention it deserved. But once I looked at my mind and my strategy and said, ooh, the ego didn't like it. It burned a little bit, but then it felt really, I felt better. Really, I'm afraid, kind of afraid that people are going to not listen and I'm going to waste my time, that they're going to ignore me or they're going to criticize me or that they're going to show me love and I won't feel worthy of it. And I'll feel bad when someone takes an interest in me and says that I'm good at what I do, because deep down I have a lot of fear and I think I'm bad at what I do and I'm a fraud. This is not just me, guys. This is almost all of us. So I wanted to end with this just a little bit general idea of you have to explore the fears in your mind or you won't follow the strategy. And you'll see most bloggers don't talk to people, where they chat with one or two and they say, oh, I talked to two people who are interested in my posts and now I'm not driving a heavy volume of indirect traffic. It's like, yeah, because you talk to two people, and you talk to two people because you're afraid of reaching out and talking to more folks for the fear of being ignored, criticized, wasting your time. But it does come down to the fear of people, the fear of talking to people with different viewpoints. So what actually happens if this manifests in quote unquote reality? And as you're talking to people, that critics do pop up, or people that really loved what you did act out your unconscious fears and they go all Jekyll and Hyde. And that's happened with me, and it happens with everybody. Everything was great, and then one update, it wasn't even anything directed that they just turn, or a stranger comes out of the woodwork and just says highly critical things. So first thing you do, if you're talking to people and you run into resistance, criticism, negativity, whatever, snippiness, mockery, first thing you do is you stop, drop, allow your mind in reaction to this perceived negativity. Everything's in your mind. stopping and observing the feelings, even if they're unpleasant, reveals, oh yeah, this is happening up here, even though they appear to be out there and they appear to be doing something, or they appear to be nasty or critical. They're appearing that way, but it's just triggering in my mind these unpleasant feelings of shame, embarrassment, anger, wanting to prove myself right. So that's step one. Take practice for most of us, since we do things robotically, mindlessly, reactively. But as you practice and you leave your comfort zone, something really cool happens. Since it's coming up in your mind, and since you're feeling it in your mind, you also have 100% absolute complete power, since it's coming up in your mind and you're feeling maybe unpleasant emotions in your mind. You have the full power, absolute now, to let it go after. And it's over and it's done, which brings you back to the peace that you felt in your mind before they popped up in your stream. You gain the intimately personal experience that it's not what they're saying or doing, these people you were afraid of, but your mental response to it. Most of us, until we practice this mindfulness, totally reactive. And the more you practice this, all areas of your life, but we'll say for blogging now, you feel, observe, feel, and let them go out of your mind. So what's dissolving in your mind? What's becoming less and less in your mind as critics pop up in the horizon? Fear. What does it become replaced with? Love. What happens when you're feeling peaceful and loving and not afraid, and there's more and more of that love and peace and calm in your mind, and somebody appears to do something out there which is really not nice? Doesn't change the peace and love and calm in your mind, because there's no fear in your mind to resonate with it. See what I mean? It's what these ascended masters talk about, and Buddha and the Jesus, the historical Jesus, the Course in Miracles voice. I mean, he took it all the way up to the non-dual level, but it's just this general idea that everything's in your mind. So the more you talk to people, and the more you'll just get outlier events, but you'll have critics arise, and you go through this process, you'll predominantly feel more love and peace. So when a critic pops up on the horizon and they appear to say something nasty, eventually practice, you'll reach the point where they could say something really that appears to be nasty. I'm saying appears to be, but the whole time you'll feel peaceful and calm, and you'll smile gently, and you'll say, oh. And you'll move right on immediately, peacefully, and you'll forget about it and forget about them. And you'll say, wow, I'm really increasingly not afraid of people at all. And no matter what they say, I keep the peace in my mind, because the only thing I've only felt was an emotion in my mind. It had nothing to do with them. Whoa. And when you reach that point, you'll just have almost no fear of people, especially talking to people online. And then that referral traffic is going to up. It's because we have a lot of tender inner weaknesses. 122. Might be a little less than an hour. No, we're going to say the distance. So guys, that's an in-depth guide, and I'll title it on my blog, but an in-depth guide to driving referral traffic fast. It's a little bit of a cheat code if you talk to a lot of interested folks. So you find folks that are interested, they responded to your content favorably. You talk to more people visit your blog indirectly, you talk to more people, but the qualifiers, they have to show, if you're reaching out to them with a genuine comment, some type of interest. You have to spot some type of interest in your blog niche. For me, that would be bloggers, preferably ones interested in blog tips, sharing blogging tips. This exposes you positively to their followings, their readerships, their audiences, them. Then maybe referral indirect traffic when they mention you as you build relationships. Or the quicker way, because it's organic, really, you reply to people who drop positive comments in response to your content. on Facebook, on Twitter, X, LinkedIn, YouTube. So they're already interested. Then you're talking to people, you're dropping comments, you're going back and forth, and these are the type of folks who'll click through to your profile and your blog, or they follow your social media streams more quickly. And I had mentioned this. So it started off as indirect. With the chat, you talk to people. Then they're the type of folks that go to your mainstream, say on X, and they'll scroll down and click on your blog post. So it goes from indirect traffic to direct traffic, technically. But the indirect talking stimulated that interest. Press an interest, talk. Keep talking. The wrap up as we enter the final 10 minutes of this hour, the Blogging from Paradise BFP hour. And it is important because I don't want to send the message that you're going to be talking all day long on social media. No, that's not the way to go. You're not going to take all day. You're not going to spend 10 hours a day talking, because the most important thing as a blogger for you to do, the fundamental thing, is to publish long-form targeted content to your blog. That takes most of your effort in the beginning, most of your energy, a fair percentage of it, to build that up. And then when you're working social streams, your priority should be creating content, because that stimulates the engagement. And both of those strategies are always going to drive the most organic traffic and the most organic income for you. So focus heavily on doing that stuff. But then for the indirect traffic, spend some time every day talking to people. It's a compliment. It's more cherry on the top, icing on the cake, a bonus, an extra. You don't want to devote your entire strategy to just talking to people, because you won't have much content on your blog. You won't have much content on social media driving the organic traffic. And this is rare for me to take an hour, guys, and I'll see how I feel if I roll with it. It's a good blog post for today. Embed it, create a little bit of a lead in, and that's that. But I know ultimately when I'm sharing my blog post links and creating new content for social consistently, that's what always gets everything going. Today, I just felt the nudge to do this under an hour. 26:35. We've wrapped it up. I think it's coming into a power hour. So talk to people. Let's sit with our fears in our mind, a lot of them unconscious, that come up related to the fear of being criticized, the fear of wasting your time, the fear of humans. Get comfortable with your fear of human beings and your fear of interacting with them. Feel that fear, then release it. Then you'll be less resistant, then you'll feel more love, be less afraid of humans. Then you will talk to people. You talk to people offline too, but especially in the online world, you'll be able to chat with anybody, engage. There won't be the fear-based social anxiety, and you'll get more comfortable with accepting love and accepting organic traffic and accepting blogging income from loving, trusting, loyal readers, customers, clients, referral business builders, because that's a big one too. That's the sneakiest one. Most of us say we want success, but we're so afraid on some level, and usually it's really highly unconscious. Well, consciously, you'll start to feel it too. When you pay attention to your mind, you'll be afraid of people loving you and supporting you and caring for you, and you have to overcome that fear, or I should say you have to feel it and let it go, or else you'll never overcome it and talk to people. You run away from them. You run away from customers, clients, people who love what you do. And they won't necessarily vanish or disappear because they're angry at you. No, they love you. But you just won't reach out to them when they love your help and they want you to engage. And it's really when you see how everything is your mind. And these practical steps or tips, that's what we follow in the world symbolically. Yet when you see that it's all happening in your mind and your perception of the world, getting a lot more committed to getting clear on that. So that's it for today, guys. Call to action. Stop by bloggingfromparadise.com for smart blogging tips. I sell an online course for bloggers, how to get featured on world famous blogs. And I also sell ebooks for bloggers, a few, one for digital nomad, one inspirational ebook. And they're available bloggingparadise.com, and you could buy them through Gumroad as well. So until next time, enjoy paradise all. See you later on YouTube. End stream. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.